The Cuban government stated that during U.S. special operations in Venezuela, 32 Cubans were killed. What were they doing, those 32 Cubans? They were fighting. But they were fighting alongside Russian troops, together with Venezuelan forces. Well, of course, you could say they were all bakers, right? Baking croissants and handing out baguettes. A baguette is a type of bread, yes, baked bread. It is remarkably long, very much like a tail, perhaps like a long carrot or even a rat's tail. So what I truly want to tell you, my dear friends, is that 32 innocent citizens were killed. And this was part of a special military operation when the president of Venezuela was captured. But no one would have killed or captured them if the Russian troops hadn't turned them in. Well, all of Venezuela belonged to the Russian Special Services. All of Venezuela. Just like other friends and other countries too. Everyone has their own. There are handlers everywhere. You understand? So Russia was the one overseeing Venezuela. Let me remind you again, the Venezuelan school, the Soviet embassy school, a closed-off area. The presidential plane, board number 1, the one ends. And 400 kilograms of cocaine, or maybe much more, are loaded from the school onto this plane. Remember? But still, it's all easy and simple. You can see the whole policy through things like this, which is in a state of turbulence. If politics is in a state of, let's say, calm, then citizens have more chances and opportunities to be heard, meaning to start some demonstrations, to begin protests. But if there's war all the time, then what kind of protests are we talking about, friends? That's why it's always beneficial. War! And Cuba has been providing security support in Venezuela since the moment Maduro came to power. Maduro is a Russian puppet. Cuba, which is Cuba, my love. What about it? Also Russia. And who is Fidel Castro? And Fidel Castro is from the wealthiest family in Cuba. The country was handed over him, yes, and he had no idea how to run it. Che Guevara? Well, Che Guevara, yes. There was such a guy. Maybe an honest one, with an open heart. Probably believed in it. Never trust any politician. There will never be honest politics. There will never be any honest politics at all. But that's impossible. Honesty and politics are diametrically opposed poles. If you want to be honest, you won't even be able to be honest, even outside of politics. It's hard to be honest outside of politics because politics implies, well, corruption, of course. Bribery, yes. Someone makes concessions to someone does something for someone else. Remember when Nazi Germany created the Vatican? They created it on purpose. At that very time when the Vatican. First of all, it's about money, right? First of all, it's about money. Not just Switzerland, but the Vatican too. As a separate state, it manages its own money. They have their own bank, which also has enormous resources. The Vatican Bank is probably one of the most influential banks. And the Vatican's intelligence service is considered the most sophisticated of all. Swiss guards serve as Vatican spies, who traditionally stand watch for the Vatican, meaning, for example, there are 12 families. All these 12 families send their children, boys, to the court of the Pope, the Vatican Pope. If you look at the appearance of these boys, they are grenadiers. It was Suvorov who brought grenadiers to Switzerland. Barclay de Tolly. Doesn't that name seem odd to you? Barclay de Tolly? Ever since I was a child, as soon as we were told about Barclay de Tolly in history, it puzzled me. How can he be Russian? He definitely isn't Russian. Barclay de Tolly was transporting 70,000 people to Italy by ship. 2 ships carried 110,000. You might say that such ships couldn't have existed back then, but they did. Suvorov was transporting them. Bagmation. I think they all had this. Suvorov had the smallest number on his ship, I think. 70,000. Twice 70,000. Those were Suvorov ships. Bagration had 90,000, and then some more. And there were also 2 ships with 110,000 each. 110,000 grenadiers from Russia. I don't know. Maybe we have some capsules underground where these guys were created, cloned. Could it be like that? Let's be bolder in expressing our thoughts, because life goes by, and we just live in ignorance. We gossip, get angry at each other, count things up, and that's why we end up counting pennies. We lie to each other. Here, I touched on this video about the boys and ended up offending someone. And the woman because of whom I started talking in this video, she doesn't care at all. She didn't even write anything to me. And for that, I'm very grateful to her. Well, by the way. Well, because with her, it's probably easier to sort out her own son together with me. To understand your own weaknesses, so this woman knows she still hasn't written anything. Maybe she didn't realize, or maybe she did but stayed silent, that in fact the video was about her son and not someone else. But here, everyone deals with these issues according to the limits of their own mind. It's not my job to adapt to anyone. I have my own thoughts, and I voice them. I myself have 2 sons, and I also see some weaknesses, and I want to talk about them too. And if someone says, oh, this little suit, I tried it on, but this suit doesn't fit me. Well, honestly, friends, I couldn't care less. Because I have my own sons too, and I tell them the same things. I told you, all of these revelations are, for the most part, for my sons, for my children. I want to share this, but how am I going to tell them? Oh, how? Yahoo! Are they going to just sit there and listen to me like this? Who would want to listen to me, someone as old as the Eiffel Tower? So I just recorded a video like this. Maybe they'll come across it somewhere, maybe someone will tell them about it. So friends, no matter what's happening today, power is being seized by the Fourth Reich. And these organizations have existed for a very, very long time. I know that they exist in Germany, but I think these guys in Germany, they're basically all Russian-speaking. I have a lot of Russian-speaking acquaintances. They live in Germany. Even one of my relatives married a Russian-speaking German guy. And now they even have a child, and he's already running around. A little princess, a blonde with blue eyes. So what am I trying to say? This still isn't really the German population. These are broken people, broken by Russia, broken by the camps and fears in the Soviet Union. We have to overcome all of this within ourselves. Will we manage? I doubt it, friends, but we must strive for this. I am Tanya Kartsuba Siliprint. Today, January 5th, 2026. The year 26 will be difficult. Don't expect it to be easy.